Hi, I'm Jenny Sanchez, and this is Sullivan180 Presents Take Five. Our guests today are on the front lines of the community response. I have Colleen Monaghan from Cornell Cooperative Extension, Sullivan County, and Mark McLewin from the Catskills Food Hub joining us. How are you both doing?
Great, thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Could you please introduce yourselves and share what you do at your respective organizations?
Sure. So I'm Mark McLewin. I am the Vice President of the Sullivan Catskills Food Hub. It was an organization created to get local products distributed to people locally. So we like to get farm fresh things that are created by our neighbors that are either made or grown or raised in the case of animals. Get them consolidated to our hub in Liberty. And then redistribute them out to the public. And that's been a huge need for that lately because of the COVID virus. People drive up, they pop their trunks, they've pre-ordered food, we put the food in the trunk and off they go, having never had to touch a grocery store.
Wow, that's great. Colleen?
I'm Colleen Monaghan, the Executive Director at Cornell Cooperative Extension, Sullivan County, and ex officio board member of the Catskills Food Hub. And we've been working for the last several years in supporting local farmers in preparing to scale up and be able to deliver food to the Food Hub, to restaurants, retail buyers, and also most recently the food box distribution program.
In light of the coronavirus pandemic, how has the daily operation of your organizations changed?
Yeah, what happened when we first envisioned the Food Hub, it was more on the commercial level, more getting out to restaurants and doing it at the wholesale level. We did start at the end of last year doing a bit of a retail operation because people were asking for it. And as soon as the virus took off on us and we all started sheltering, it became more critical that the retail function of the Food Hub be exaggerated and be expanded. And because we were set up in one direction, the Cornell Cooperative Extension jumped in and really helped to propel us in the direction we're going in now.
I would agree with everything Mark says, and we're lucky at Extension to have an ag and food systems team of experts in various aspects of aggregation, distribution, agricultural farm safety, wholesale readiness, retail. And so it's really been a mutually beneficial relationship to be able to bring our team in to partner with the Food Hub to be able to meet the increased demand and be able to provide safe spaces for folks to pick up local products.
And what are some of the challenges you have faced during this time of the pandemic?
Well, the Food Hub, because it was originally scaled for the wholesale level, yeah, it would have been larger quantities going out to fewer people. And of course, retail, we're looking at more people, smaller quantities. So we've revamped all the shelving, revamped systems. Of course, during the virus, we have to maintain cleanliness levels. So we would have been, quite frankly, in trouble without Cornell and without their staffing because it's really labor intensive. And there's also the fact that we're dealing with an incredibly localized market. So maybe we have 20 yogurts ordered and the producer can only produce 19. Of course, I'm using low numbers here just for an example. But because it is such a localized market, we would then have to contact our customer and say, hey, you know what, our farmer just couldn't produce that much.
Do you have any specific positive experiences that have come out of this you would like to share?
I'm just so thrilled that we could sit down, have some very, very quick conversations with Cornell and said, hey, you know what, we have all this common ground. Let's work together and make this happen. And together, we've been very strong, and I think in the end, it's going to be a wonderful outcome that would not have been able to achieve if we were separate.
For myself, as an ex officio board member who's sort of been working with the board to nurture this project for, it's been about 4 or 5 years. But we now have a robust group of committed volunteers who are trained. They know what they're doing. They show up when they say they're going to show up with a smile on their face. And then on Thursdays, when we do the retail pickup in Liberty at the Food Hub, people are just so very thankful. They're glad to be able to support local agriculture. There's been some interruptions in the supply chain, which we've read about in the newspaper and seen on the media. And the Food Hub facility and the board and the team of people that have been working together in there have been able to make a difference for Sullivan County and regional farmers. We received a few notes in-house at the Food Hub that this operation, being that the restaurants closed, were a few of the producers' only source of income. And so that's really meaningful to be able to, throw a lifeline or at least be a stopgap when, businesses shut down unexpectedly and then all of a sudden there was no place for product to go, which is exactly what the purpose of the Food Hub is.
So what can the community do to aid your efforts?
There's a couple things. One, we do know that there is a food security issue in Sullivan County. Before the COVID crisis hit, the data suggested that 1 in 5 young people in a family were dependent on SNAP benefits for their next meal. And so there are food distribution efforts that are happening, and some of that is flowing through the Food Hub. The recommendation for folks who might be in need is to contact the Sullivan County Emergency Community Assistance Hotline. That's a centralized place that takes in different calls and requests for assistance, and then they call out for help to entities like the Catskills Food Hub or SALT or the Sullivan Fresh Markets. And folks can reach out to that hotline at 845-807-0925. And if there are folks on the other end of the spectrum who are hoping to support some food security efforts or the Food Hub general operations, they can visit the Catskills Food Hub website, which is at catskillsfoodhub.org, or they can give us a ring at 845-295-7800.
Is there anything else you would like to add?
It's really great to see all the people who want to take part in helping our community and keeping our community strong, and just in supporting each other. And I think that's something we need to take away with here.
I echo Mark, and I thank Sullivan180 for the opportunity to tell a little piece of the story of the Catskills Food Hub.
Okay, well, thank you both for being here and for letting us know what you're doing to help Sullivan County.